Okay, hello to all my friends. Thank you for joining me on the channel. This is 5G LS3. My name is Eric. So what we're going to do, I have a 2011 Camaro SS, so a 5th gen Camaro with an LS3 engine. And we're going to go through the steps with you on the channel to get it from the current already modified 477 rear wheel horsepower up to above 800. I think we're going to shoot for right about the 830 rear wheel horsepower, top out about 730 torque, and that's going to be on the stock bottom end. So we're going to see how far we can push the stock bottom end on an LS3 without touching the rotating assembly. And we're going to do the whole thing along with you guys on the channel, and we're going to go over the mods that have already been on the car. We'll name them now in this video, and then we'll go back and do a individual review at a later date. What we'll focus on in this video is what it sounds like, the idle with the East Coast Supercharging big blower cam in it, and then we're going to go have some NOWEEDS exhaust diverters installed and kind of see what that does to the exhaust notes. So as I was speaking with Chris at East Coast, you know, he was aware of where I could possibly end up eventually, so he made sure to include some of the extras that may not necessarily just need to be done for just a cam job. But we, you know, replaced the timing chain with a C5R, you know, racing version from K-Tech, you know, a high volume oil pump. I'll share the full list of mods here in just a little bit. But we really set the foundation up to survive the later project. And speaking of that later project, so in actually in about 6 weeks, we'll be sending the car back to East Coast Supercharging, where we're going to get their Novi 1500 centrifugal supercharger. We're going to do meth injection. We're going to have to do new injectors and a new fuel system. We're going to do a dual pump squash in tank pump with return. So that should be very exciting. And then once Doug takes his turn with it after it's all installed and tunes it up, we are looking at we're expecting 830 to the wheel, give or take. So can't wait to see how that works out. We're going to be dropping off some cameras with them for the build, so they'll keep us up to date. So I'm excited. You guys get to take the trip along with us. Between now and then, we're going to do a couple other things. We're going to get ready for making sure the car, the drivetrain, can handle that power. We're going to be swapping out the clutch. We're going to be adding a short throw shifter just because that's fun. And we'll see what else. We'll keep doing things just to make sure we have enough content. I do need you guys to chime in with some comments. Let me know if there's something specific that you're looking to know about, because I remember when I was doing my research for what kind of cam do I want, what kind of cold air induction, what kind of you know, rear end subframe bushings, what kind of rear trailing arm. I really relied on YouTube to be able to see and hear and get everyone's perspective on it. So that's the purpose of this channel. Everything I do to the car, I'm hoping to do in a way that allows you guys, if you were considering that particular product or that modification, to see if that's something you want to do or not. So obviously, as the name implies, 5G LS3, my 5th gen Camaro with the LS3, that's what I'm going to be doing mostly. I'm not going to limit the content to that. I have a lot of friends with some really fantastic cars. I love all cars. So we're going to get in front of those. We're going to do some interviews, some ride-alongs, some racing. Because luckily, here in central PA, we are right next to Mexico, which is just mind-boggling. So stay tuned for that. And please shoot me a message, throw something in the comments if you want to see something specific. I read them all. you know, I'll tailor the content to what we want to see. So until then, here's a list of the modifications so far and things that will be going into detail after that. But for now, in this video, let's take a trip up to see my buddy Rob in Maxitawny and have some no weed exhaust diverters installed and see what that sounds like. All right, we're on our way to see my buddy Rob at Holly's Automotive in Maxitawny. We've got Ephraim over there in the passenger seat. Hello. We're going to have some exhaust diverters from Steve Koenig up in South Dakota. No weeds diverters. So we're going to make this thing sound just insane. So hold on one second. We'll get there shortly. Alright guys, here we are. Pulling up to Holly's Automotive. We're going to go see our bud Rob Holly. And we're going to get some exhaust diverters put on this thing. And we're going to make the 5G LS3 project very loud. So, sit tight. Alright guys, here we go. We're picking up the Camaro from Holly's Automotive. We've had the No Weeds exhaust diverters installed. We're going to go take a look and see what it looks like. Oh, that's sick. Look at that. Alright, so I took the cats off. So we've got some Cook's long tube headers going straight into the No Weeds exhaust diverters. It's a giant 3-inch dump. 3-inch stainless pipe, and we're going all the way back, cat back, Cook's system, the Cook's mufflers, and then the 4-inch stainless tips. Alright guys, so onto the rear end and suspension. We've got the BMR rear trailing arm with the solid mount bushings. Ephraim and I pulled out the whole rear subframe. We've got some photos of that you can see here. Okay, so we pulled the diff. We've got the upgraded bushings from BMR. We had Rob here at Holly's Automotive take out the 345 stock gear and put in EC Delco 411s. Not the most expensive ring set gear and ring you can get, but it's been great for me. Feels like we've ripped 500 pounds out of the car. It's an absolute beast with those. If you're considering 411s and you hear all the horror stories online, forget about it. It's amazing. Just do it. You'll be happy. All right, here we go, guys. Diverters are installed. We're gonna come out of Holly's Automotive here. I really do appreciate Rob squeezing us in, as he always does. And we can take a little pause to take in the wonderful scenery that you'll see everywhere in Central PA. Oh my God. All right. Okay, so we have the stock location for the cigarette lighter. We put in the switch in there. So we're sitting inside the car. We're gonna see what happens here. Oh my God. Well, that's gonna be fun. Hold on one second. Hold on one second, guys. Here we go. Oh my God, listen to that. quick run with the diverters open. Luckily, we live in PA, and the road system here is just, it doesn't make sense. It's just insane. We're in Maxitawny, which is up near Allentown. We live in Reading, PA. Should be an easy straight drive there, but instead, PennDOT, the Pennsylvania DOT, just has some serious issues getting their directions straight. We actually do, in fact, on 222 here that runs between Allentown and Reading, we do actually have to go through Mexico. It just is. All right, guys, here we go. Okay, we're back in Ephraim's room, actually, and as you can see, the only realistic use for the GM engine cover, I think, is for decoration. So, what kind of cool kid wouldn't want an LS engine cover on their wall? You know, Camaro hat and a sticker from Slipstream Racing from when we went to the Poconos. We'll be doing that again, by the way, once we get to the 830 horsepower level, and we'll see what kind of mile per hour increase we get. We were in the high 130s 6 months ago when we actually attended, so we'll be covering that probably next April. So that's 6 months from now. So eventually, once we get to the power level I'm looking for, there's going to be some roll racing happening. There's going to be some drag racing happening. I'm about 30 minutes from Maple Grove drag strip in near Reading, Pennsylvania. It's in Moton. I'm about 2 hours from Cecil County drag strip. I've been to both of them a couple times. So we're going to continue to do that. Once I get some suspension work done and a little aerodynamics done, my plan is to go to the Texas Mile. I want to see what this car will do in a standing mile event, so you all will be going with me. So stay tuned. So again, I want to thank Rob Holly at Holly's Automotive for installing the cutouts. So we'll take a second so that everyone has a really good idea of what their car would sound like if they have an LS3, long tube headers, catback exhaust, with the East Coast Supercharging big blower cam. So check this out. I'm going to list it, show you with the diverters closed. We'll open them up halfway through and then close them again. It was something that I was very concerned with when I was doing my research, because I was reading where there was only a certain amount of lift you can use in the LS3 engine because of the clearance, and I was really hoping to get a much more choppy idle, until I found out the reason why that's not always a good thing. The big chop is because of overlap. So when your exhaust and intake valves are open a little bit at the same time, where they don't just close and then one opens, one closes, one opens, there's a period of time where both of them are open, and that gives you that big chop, which is good in a naturally aspirated engine, but if you're in a forced induction or supercharged turbocharged engine and both the intake and the exhaust are still open a little bit, it's just going to blow all the boost right out the exhaust. So the two boost specific cams from East Coast, the blower cam or the big blower cam, are designed specifically to make sure that the lobe separation angle is such that you're keeping all the boost in there. So enough of me jabbering. Here's the idle of the Camaro with the big blower cam.